Hello everyone, welcome to Grace Hollow Rabbitry. I'm PJ. I'm in Northwest Arkansas where I raise commercial meat breed rabbits. I raise New Zealand's in black, blue, and broken, and I have a small herd of silver fox in black and blue. And what we've been working on this week are all those May babies. We have 6 litters. The blue-eyed litter we're not keeping. And yesterday, flies and mosquitoes are biting again today. That's actually a mosquito. Anyway, yesterday we took a look at, the 2 does out of Cass. Speaking of those, I took those 2 does in to get them tattooed, and I was, sprayed the little GG spray on their ears to numb their ears before I tattooed. And doe B, I flipped over, or doe 2, I forget what I called her yesterday, but the second doe that I looked at, I flipped her over, and wouldn't you know, she had a little bitty, teeny tiny navel spot, which is a DQ, means that you can't show her, but she's a real big doe, real beautiful body type, so I thought she would make an excellent brood doe. I posted her for sale, and within 10-15 minutes of posting her, she sold, and she's going to be going to a great breeder right here in Arkansas. So anyway, today what I wanted to do, my biggest litter is Witter's litter. We have 7. We got 5 black and 2 blue. They were born, I think, May 19th, and I believe Kirby is their sire. I'm fairly certain. I think I bred Witter back to her dad, so I believe it's Kirby. So anyway, let's go take a look at that litter. We have 7 to look at. The system I used yesterday, I think, worked out pretty good. I think you were able to look at the rabbits and get a real good view of them. So I'm going to go ahead and stay with that system today. Let's go have a look. All right, rabbit number 1. And you know what? I might have to bring this rabbit closer to you. I'm not even going to spend a lot of time looking at this rabbit. Let me bring him close. Or he, she, whatever. Look here. We have all kinds of stray white hairs all over. I'm pretty sure this is Kirby and Witter breeding, which is a solid to solid. You should not have that many stray white hairs. There's stray white hairs all throughout the body, the top of the body, the top line, and all over these ears, and even rabbit number 2. This one was 6 pounds, 11 ounces. I kept bouncing back and forth between 10 and 12, so we're going to say 11. I don't see stray red hairs on the top of the body right off, so that's promising. I don't see any on the face or ears. While I have it up and forward, check the ears. Good. Now I'm going to say, I have these guys up here in this top cage, so they're kind of out of the way. It takes a reach to get in, and I haven't reached in here a whole lot, and I don't like that, and I tell you why. Maybe if I made a point to, open up the door, reach my hand in every time I'm out here, it probably make a difference. But I haven't been doing that. I'm going to start the next time I use this like this. But as soon as I can, I'm going to put these things down. I'm not going to leave them stacked like this and put them back out. These guys, I reach in there and they're terrified. And that's because they're not used to me reaching in there. Now this guy settled down pretty quick. But they're pretty timid, and I know it's because they're up there in that top cage and I haven't reached in. But you know what? That's gonna, a week or two, handling them, and that's going to be gone. So anyway, so far I don't see anything. Let's go ahead. The ears look good. Now we've got some sorry fur here. Boys and girls probably still sharing a cage and having some buck wars in there, so we've got some pretty nasty fur. But let's go ahead, take a look at the teeth and the underside. Yep, see, these guys are timid. Okay, I don't see any weight on the feet. Well, there could be. I don't think that's enough that anybody would DQ it for, because we're allowed a little. But there is just a touch of, oops. All right. Oh, this guy tried to get away from me. Okay, no, it's okay. Teeth look good. We'll go ahead and check toenails. Toenails look good. Alright, so let's see. Whoop, I know you don't like that. Okay, this guy is a buck. It's okay, I'm not going to hurt you. Alright, tell you what, these guys are only 2 days younger than those 2 does we looked at yesterday. Boy, I tell you what, of course, you know, Cass only had the 2, so they got all the milk, all the food. Now these guys are small compared to those giant girls. Well, let's see here. Oh, here, let's turn him where you can see. He's fussing. He's not used to being handled. Alright. Tuck your feet where they belong. By the way, just for you guys that don't know, when you pose in New Zealand, what you want to do is lay them flat on the table, and you want to bring their hind toes right here up, right even with their hip. That way that hip junction is right there, sitting square on top of those back hind legs. And then your front legs, you want right here, directly below the eye. That is the proper pose. So while we have this guy posed properly, he looks pretty promising. Nice top line here. Very nice, I think. He's got a lot of depth. Now he's not nowhere near as wide as those girls were yesterday, but he's not as big either, and that's because we've got a litter of 7. Plus, Mom died when these guys were only like 3.5 weeks old. So these guys have grown up on straight feed and hay, so they're going to grow a little slower, but that's not going to change their genetics. Now we know genetically these guys have came out of Witter, so they grow big and they grow fast. Now they are also out of Kirby. Now Kirby is on the small side. He, you know, in prime, he's right at 9 pounds 2 ounces, which is the minimum for a New Zealand buck. So he's not a giant buck, but we've had babies out of Kirby before. Washita and Maggie and some others. They're all big rabbits, so I'm not concerned about size. These just didn't grow up on a lot of Mama's milk because she died early. Anyway, back to this guy. Let's make sure he's where you can see him. Whoop, we got his feet too far. There we go. There we go. Promising fella here. Just like the girls, right here I would like to see a little more width. But I'm feeling just like those girls. I feel the muscle. The muscle is taut like it should be. And it's wide. Look at that. That's a hand width apart. Look at that. Hand width apart. That's a wide loin. He's going to fill in. He just needs some grain, and he needs to be in a cage by himself so he's not fighting 6 brothers and sisters for food. Nice looking fella. Alright, we've got a big litter, and I'm taking a really long time. Let's go ahead and move on to rabbit number 3. This one was 6 pounds 9 ounces. By the way, at this age, right at 7 pounds is pretty normal. These are not small. They just seem small after Cass's monsters yesterday. Alright, once again, this fella has definitely been having his fur chewed, sharing a cage with too many brothers and sisters. We're going to remedy that today. We're going to divide them up. And I tell you what, look, just at a glance, okay, I definitely got to start spending some time with these guys. They don't know what it's like to be handled. Just at a glance, look at this fella. Nice depth on that guy. Nice top line. Very nice. I like this one already. Alright, so I don't see any stray white hairs. Gotta get some hair growing, but I don't see any white marks down below. No white on the ears or face. Okay, let's look at the ears. Okay, no ear mites. And I know you're not gonna like this. It's okay. Shh, 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 shh. It's okay. Okay, good straight teeth. Okay. No white at all on the foot pads. All the toes are there. Toenails are black. Let's check the hind feet. No white on the foot pad. All black toenails. All the feet or toes are there. Okay, let's see. I'm going to guess a buck. Yep, another buck. Alright. So this guy looks really good. I like him. Okay. Alright, look at that. Look at that top line right there. Now I like the first buck over here, and without putting them side by side, I don't know. From my memory, I think this one has more depth, but that one I think has a wider, I believe he was like a hand width apart right here. And this guy's not quite. He's almost there, but not quite. But he was also a couple of ounces smaller. But I like this top line better, I think. It's hard to know until you put them side by side. And at this young age, I think both of these are going to fill in and look really nice. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and get these 2 guys tattooed so that I don't get them mixed up with the other 5, and I'll come back and we'll finish looking at them. Okay, this would be rabbit number 4, and we're getting smaller. We got 6'11", then we had 6'9", now we got 6'6". And this one's got a couple of stray white hairs, but nothing I would worry about. Not enough to worry about. Now this guy, he's compact. Well, I haven't checked this yet, but definitely deep. We got some depth here. Wide right through here. Let's see. No, this is already a hand width apart right here. So real wide. Wide at the base. Straight down to the table. Nice little top line on this guy. Look at that. Beautiful guy, compact guy. He just needs less brothers to compete with food. Real nice guy there. Alright, let's go ahead and look. Okay, ears look good. Alright, fella, I know you're grumbling and you're a little afraid of me. I need to handle you more, I know. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, okay. I need to flip you over. Come on. Easy now, easy now. Good job. Easy now. I know. I don't see any white on the foot pads. No white on the navel. Oh, I know. I know. There. Shh. I gotta look at your teeth. Gotta let him relax before I can even try to look at his teeth. Look at that, good and straight. And I guessed right. It is another buck. Whoa! The bucks at this age do tend to be around the 6.5, up to the 7-pound mark. The does do tend to be a little bigger, which makes sense because the weight range for a doe is bigger than a buck. So the does at this age are usually closer to that 7 and over mark. He is really fussing at me. I've got to hold this guy and handle him a lot more. Now I know he's smaller than his first two brothers, but I don't think he's at an unreasonable weight at this age. He's doing pretty good. Coat-wise, well, none of them has had a decent coat. But this guy is very promising. So far, I've liked all three of these. I do think number 2 and number 3, or I guess in this case number 3 and number 4, because number 1 was a call. I do think they both have higher depth than rabbit number 2. Another nice little guy. I don't need 3 nice guys in one litter. 3 black nice guys in one litter. But yeah, okay, looking good there, fella. Let's put you aside and go to rabbit number 5. And the last black. Again, we're getting smaller and smaller. This guy was 6 pounds 2 ounces. So I'm going to assume it's a guy. No stray white hairs that I see. Ears look good. Okay, I've got to get that cage lower so I can reach into it all the time. I don't like having it up there. It really has these rabbits a little bit timid. I don't like that. So, it looked like a white toenail for a minute, but it's not. No white on the foot pad. Looks good. Alright, you settled? You want to let me look at your teeth? Okay. Nice straight teeth. Okay, all the toes are there. They're all black. Black toenails. Alright, I hope this isn't a 4th buck. There. Alright, well, this one fooled me. There actually is a black doe, or first doe, and surprisingly, so far the smallest. Usually the does are the bigger ones. So this one really needs to go on her own. I'd like to get her separated out. And here, let me turn her so you can see her. I'd like to get her Boy, nice top line on that doe. I don't see any scattered white hair. Oops, I didn't check the belly. Let's look at the belly button. I know. Nice and black, no white spots. Good. Promising doe. I'd like to see more size on her, but she's been in a litter of 7 fighting for food. So I would like to see her by herself, or at least in a smaller group, on feed for a couple weeks and see where she's at then. I might keep an eye on her. Look at that. Nice top line. Like everybody else, she needs some fur, but otherwise, looking real good. Nice top line, nice depth, straight to the table, looking good. Now, even though she's smaller and a doe, in comparison to size, look at that. She's wide in that loin, and she's fuller through here than her brothers, I think. Maybe that's a doe thing, I don't know. Definitely an age thing. I'm going to give this little girl just a little more time to fill in. I'd like to see what she looks like. I think she might be nice. She's turning out. I like her so far. Okay, I'm going to take these 2, tattoo them. We'll come back and look at those 2 blues.